Today, we're reviewing the AT2040 dynamic broadcast microphone from Audio-Technica. Let's go. All right, so Audio-Technica has come out with a new broadcast dynamic microphone, the AT2040. Now, I've been podcasting for ever, so since 2007. And prior to this new microphone coming out, this bad mamma jamma, right? Prior to that coming out, I'd been using the AT2020s, which are condenser microphones. They have a super rich, super solid sound. They sound amazing. The problem is they have absolutely no sound isolation, as most condenser microphones do not, right? So they pick up everything in the room. They pick up everything outside. I once had to give up a voiceover job because the cicadas were too loud, and there was no way for me to filter it out because these microphones are so incredibly sensitive. I love their sound, but it's just not conducive to recording in an open environment. So when I saw that the AT2040s came out, I was in love seeing the box and the stats on them. So they have a cardioid pattern, which means it picks up super awesome from the front, not much from the sides at all. And then it does have less sound isolation from the back than it does from the sides. But my current recording setup, sometimes it sounds like a F-15 taking off. And up to this point, in testing this microphone, the 2040, it isolates that sound out so well. It's ridiculous. Now, I know what everybody's saying. They're saying, hey, well, what about the SM7B Shure microphones? Yeah, they're great. They're a great microphone. They have awesome quality sound. They super rich in all the tonal ranges. But here's the problem. They're like $400 a piece just for the microphone. And then you have to get the cloud lifter, and that's another $100 to $200 depending on how many mic setups. Since I've got a podcasting studio set up, I need at least 2 mics. These come in MSRP $100. They're built into the same frame as the AT2020 condenser mics. Comes with a mount, which I panicked a little bit because I was afraid we would have issues and I wouldn't have a shock mount. It has an internal shock mount built in that works fairly well. I mean, you can't hit it with a baseball bat or anything, but as far as moving it on a control arm, you'll never even hear it happen, right? But even if you wanted to mount it into a shock mount, all you have to do is unscrew this thumb screw here, and then this spreads apart, and then you can just slide this off, and then you can mount it into like a spider shock mount or something. So it's pretty great. The sound quality, especially at $100 MSRP, is pretty phenomenal. I'm going to switch over. Right now I'm using my Sennheiser 600, and I'm going to switch over so that you can hear the difference in the AT2040. So the AT2040, you do have to have it pretty close to your mouth. You know, normally they want like a 6-inch standoff when dealing with a dynamic broadcast mic. I don't recommend that for this one because then you have to, depending on your preamps in your mixing board or whatever you're using, or your interface, you might pick up some noise floor if you run the gain up too high. But what I found is when I'm right on this microphone, even with my Behringer that I use, which is not a super high quality mixing board. I mean, it's basically consumer grade and it works for everything I need it for. But if I get the gain up a little high, I start to get a really annoying noise floor in there. So I keep it down low on these, and it's crystal clear and clean. I have been incredibly happy with the AT2040, especially considering, I record in my home and I have small children, and there's lawnmowers and neighbors and weed whackers and everything else going on.
And one of the other problems that I ran into was in the small recording space that I have, it's not sound treated very well. So when my co-host on my podcast and I were talking, at the same time, there would be like an echo. And so we couldn't put us in on separate tracks because it would pick us up on those AT2020s. It would pick us up on both microphones. And there was just enough of an echo and delay that it made for some really gross audio stuff happening. Now, if we're both on the same track, it's fine. But this opens up the possibilities for editing separate inputs a lot easier because now there's a lot of that noise rejection from the rear and sides that you would have picked up like crazy on the condenser microphones. I'm very, very happy with this mic. For a small environment, the noise rejection is great. I guess I should have said at the top, there's been no sponsorship from Audio Technica, but what I will say unequivocally is that I have used Audio Technica
for a really long time. I started podcasting in 2007, started using their condenser microphones shortly thereafter because I got kicked out of the radio station that we used to record in. And then even my vinyl turntables, Audio Technica, I've got a pair of monitor headphones that are Audio Technica. They are not professional quality. Okay, let's not fool ourselves. But at a consumer grade and podcast grade quality, they are pretty amazing. For what you're paying at $100 for a broadcast dynamic microphone, you will be very, 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 very happy with the quality and sound performance. I don't know if there's a better buy out there, honestly. I've heard a lot of different microphones, a lot of different broadcast dynamic microphones, and the 2040, it really stacks up. And this is a heavy beast. It is sturdy. I mean, this is metal casing. It's sealed, like not against weather, but it's a nice sealed unit. It is not cheaply made at all. It has a real quality heft to it. And like I said, it sounds amazing. I can't recommend it enough. So if you're thinking about it, order one. I ordered these from B&H Photo. Order one, try it out, and for like a week, and if it doesn't work out, just return it. I think they've got a pretty decent return policy. Amazon did not have them available for Prime or from anywhere legitimate looking, so I stayed away from ordering on Amazon, but I got it from B&H Photo in just a couple days. So again, Audio Technica AT2040 dynamic broadcast microphone. I can't recommend it enough.